Today I'm going to share with you the prediction for this year O Level Physics paper. So what are the popular topics that we should study and focus on? Okay, so for physics, the topics are quite a lot, and sometimes the topics may not be connected or related to each other. So there's quite a lot to study, and the order of the questions are normally in the same order as your textbook. So I will just briefly share with you for paper 1 and 2 what should be your focus on. Number 1, there will be quite a number of mechanics questions. Do pay special attention to topics like pressure, because this question was not heavily tested last year. Okay, and then do pay attention to kinematics and dynamics again, because these are very basic important fundamentals in physics. Okay, do pay attention to energy. Though there was quite a lot of marks given to it last year, I still think that this is an important topic given the increasing emphasis on energy. Maybe also pay attention to renewable energy sources. Okay, then for thermal physics, every year without fail there will be some questions on it. So do pay attention to concepts from kinetic particle theory. Transfer of thermal energy may or may not be tested. Then also, although thermal properties was tested last year, but I think this year the way they phrase it will be less calculation based, will be more on conceptual understanding, like interpretation of the temperature time graph, like explaining how come latent heat of vaporization is actually greater than fusion. Okay, so you need to really understand the concept well to answer the questions correctly. Okay, then we have light, wave, and sound. Sound, pay attention to sound. And then we have electricity. Without fail, every year there will be quite a number of questions on that. Okay, pay attention to Ohm's law, attention to potentiometer. Okay, and practical electricity could be hot this year because it was hardly tested last year. So do understand how the fields works, the correct explanation on what happened when there is a surge in current. All right, then study electromagnetism and electromagnetic induction, and lastly there will be some questions on radioactivity, because this is a new topic this year, so there will be some questions on it. But I think for radioactivity the question will not be too hard because this is the first time they are testing in the new syllabus. For practical, there will definitely be an electric circuit question without fail every year. Okay, but we're just not sure what is coming out. Last year was something related to motor. This year it could be something like potentiometer or variable resistor. Something they will test on the basic fundamental, I feel. They will test something very basic, and there will be plotting of graph for sure. Then the next one could be mechanics. The planning could be any one of them. Very hard to predict where the planning question will be. Okay, mechanics could be energy, moment, pressure. Okay, then thermal physics. I think that this year could be a thermal physics question for one of the practical tasks. And then maybe light, but not so much on lens. Maybe reflection, or related to total internal reflection. All right. So for physics practical, most likely there'll be 3 practical tasks, but one of them could be a database or a practical to carry out. Then the planning will be one of them, embedded in one of the practical tasks. Okay, so for physics, very important to know the definitions, all right, and do study the basic fundamental, because they're testing very basic fundamentals actually. Okay, so get your basic right first, and then try the past year questions and school papers. Okay, make sure you know your fundamental well. So from doing the questions, you have an idea what are your weakness, what are your strengths. So for the topics you're weak in, you may want to revise the concepts, revisit them again and again to make sure you really understand, so that when the question appear, you can apply the concepts correctly. Okay, you need to identify, okay, for this question, what would be the correct concept to apply. If not, your answer will be wrong. Okay, so that's it for today. Wish you all the best in your preparation for O level. Thank you.